Yesterday I created a video about what to do when you are born unattractive, and I it was in response to a viewer question, and in response to that answer that I provided yesterday, I got another community question, and the community question goes like this. I just saw your video about unattractiveness. I agree with the video, but I have one question. What if you believe you're attractive and beautiful, but the rest of the world doesn't? Like, we make efforts to enhance our look and are happy with how we look, but the rest of the world reminds us we aren't. So, uh, this relates more to the idea of the self, right? So, what I mean by that is, suppose all my viewers, come to my YouTube channel and tell me that I am an African American man. Now, just because all of you rally up and say that doesn't make it true, right? And moreover, it's not going to alter how I view myself. I'm an Asian guy, right? Moreover, all of you can say that I suck, and all of these videos are like really horrible, which sometimes people do. Um, but again, nothing. My sense of self is really strong, right? So there's really nothing you can do to make me feel bad because every day I decide that I'm gonna feel good, right? And I can do this because I have a very, very, very solid relationship with myself and that solid sense of self. But I'm not necessarily like this for every little minor thing, right? So, suppose I go to an Indian restaurant, right? I know that India is a large, large country, and it's almost like a continent of itself. Therefore, the regional, diet is going to be very different. But I end up going to like a pan Indian restaurant, suppose, and now I don't know what I'm gonna get. I think I like the northern Indian food of Rogan Josh, and I may be thinking like maybe I'm gonna get that. But then you might be saying, oh, you know what, Billy? No, like Rogan Josh is good, but you know what's really good? Like South Indian food. It's like super spicy, and I know you like spicy. Then I'm like, oh, you know what? That also does sound good. Maybe I'm using this example because today I had some Sri Lankan food that was like extremely spicy. But anyway, in that sense, a West Indian person might come, and then a Pakistani person might come and be, oh, Billy, no, shut up. You gotta do the biryani. And I'm like, ooh, I do like biryani. Should I get biryani? So like, in that way, I don't really have a clear sense of self, right? What do I really like when it comes to Indian food? So in that way, I can be swayed. So there are areas in my life where I have complete self assurance because I am the most authoritative person to me in that area. So, you cannot convince me otherwise. But suppose it's a skill I'm learning, and suppose it's like jujitsu or like surfing, and you tell me, oh no, Billy, like like you're doing kind of okay, but you really need to fix that habit or like that form. And then you know what? Like my sense of self is good, right? I'm a good practitioner of surfing. I'm a good practitioner of jiu-jitsu. But you know what? I'm a student, and I may not be a student in other things, but for these things, I'm a student, and I will happily take your advice. And now I'm willingly taking that advice from the perspective of a student, right? Okay, so now when it comes to beauty, when it comes to attractiveness, you got to measure your sense of self assurance in that area. Do you indubitably believe that you are attractive and beautiful? Good. Then there's nothing anyone can say about your attractiveness. So, for example, I don't, as in case you haven't noticed, I don't really care about my looks, right? I try to be presentable because I don't want you to look at. I mean, like I don't want to be here with like boogers and like I don't want to be here like bleeding from my face and generally with like drool marks and things like that, right? So I try as a kind of a public service. I try to look presentable to you, but I don't go out of my way to get laser therapy for my skin because why? Like, what's the point, right? I'm not gonna be a model. I'm not gonna be this like person who's recognized for being the most handsome person in the world. That ship has long sailed. And so, you can tell me I'm ugly. I get it, right? Like, because I'm not. There's so many K-pop idols who look way better than I do. I'm short. Yeah, like, I'm not even 6 feet. I'm like 5'10". Or my license tells me so. Okay, so, like, if you tell me that I'm not the most, like, good-looking person, I don't really care. To be completely honest with you, there are occasionally some comments for like you look good. I'm like I don't know what to do with that because I'm so not used to it, right? And so I get very embarrassed like that. So my sense of self assurance is strong in the idea that I'm not conventionally attractive, but I completely don't care whether if I'm conventionally attractive or not. So just like that, you can have evaluate your life and you can evaluate how you look, what you think about beauty and acceptance in society, and attractiveness in general, and then you can pick your perspective. And then when you are solidly grounded in your perspective, then that's the point where other people's opinions start mattering a lot less.